What's up, everybody? Fire Chicken here at the scrapyard. It is the day after our event, our big event, our August 27th event that I told you was going to be huge, and it didn't disappoint. It was ginormous. We had a ton of people, we had a ton of fights, and if you watch the live feed, it went for like 6 hours. So, um, if you didn't check it out, the live feed, that's okay because all the fights are going to be released in a timely manner. Since we had so many fights, I'm going to be able to put out a fight almost every single day for you guys until the next event. Um, but I mean, man, if you guys got any questions about the event, if you watch the live feed, you got concerns, comments, questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. What's up, Matthew? What's up, Ariel? I want to give a special shout out to Turtle and Coach P. They were our referees, and they totally knocked it out yesterday. No pun intended. Did a great job on refereeing. Kept the fighters safe. Kept the action going. Broke the fighters up when they needed to. Definitely great job, you guys, if you end up seeing this. I want to shout out Ramos Boxing Gym. They came up with their crew. They brought fighters. They helped with different tasks. Enormous help. That was really cool. So thank you guys for coming up. Everybody else that showed up too that was willing to help out, whether it's cornering fighters or just saying, hey, do you need help with anything? Appreciate that a lot. We got hit with some last minute call-ins on some important jobs, and people were willing to step up and help out. And I mean, I get, life and stuff happens. So I get that, and same goes with the fighters, stuff can happen to where you're not going to show up to an event. I want to give a shout out to Jimmy Fit first off for coming up. Man, he just he seemed like he fit in really well with the scrapyard. Got along good, hung out, had a good time. Always welcome back. Always welcome. In fact, I don't think that we've ever had a guest from the OG branch or the West Coast come out that isn't welcome back. You guys respectful, you have a good time, you seem to fit in good. So thank you. I also want to give a big shout out to everybody that traveled from out of state, especially this goal setter. Okay, so goal setter, 155-pound boxing champion over in the OG branch, flew in all the way from the OG branch, came out, met me Friday, got a picture with him. Everything's great, and he got sick, like sick that night. Yeah, maybe he got salmonella from being around Fire Chicken, but he no joke, he really did get like a nasty like intestine infection. Had to go to the hospital. He unfortunately did not get to do his fight with Q-Tip. He really wanted that fight, and he wants to come back and he wants to do that fight. Q-Tip ended up fighting Blacksmith. Shout out to Blacksmith. No, definitely not too many beers. I don't even think he drinks. Shout out to Blacksmith for taking a 5-round fight against a champion. I'm not going to try to spoil anything for you guys on how any of the fights went. I'm just going to tell you like some of the people that fought and the rundown of the event. I mean, you guys can go back and watch the live feed. And I got to bring up something on that. Now, I haven't fully watched the live feed yet, but I've been getting a number of complaints about some of the commentary. The commentary on the live feed is supposed to be minimal. It's supposed to be giving you guys just an early view for free to watch the fights. They're not the best quality, but I did man the station so that it makes it a little bit better. But some of the commentary, I guess, I've been getting a number of complaints from family members even about the language, about personally attacking commentators, or not commentators, but people commenting on the channel. Look, I get there's haters and there's people that are going to say stuff, and people are going to say, hey, I think it went this way, and whatever, that's fine. And sometimes it is hard to ignore people like that, but you just got to do that. You can't argue with everybody on here. You got to just let shit go sometimes. So if anybody was offended of the language or the back and forth between the commentator and the live chat, I apologize. We're going to make sure next time that doesn't happen. So keep watching, guys. I'm always open to listen to what you guys have to say, so I can try to make improvements on how we do things. I'm not saying that every suggestion or even half the suggestions that you guys put out are going to get, turn into a reality, but I will at least consider them. I've always been that way. I've always kept an open mind to ideas. And sometimes I try stuff out. So, no, I didn't say disable the chat. No, that's not what I meant. I'm not disabling the chat. I'm just saying that the person that's commentating the fights or watching the fights, holding the live camera, shouldn't be going back and forth with the people in the live chat as far as arguing goes. I get that there's haters and there's going to be crap talking, but just let it roll off your back. Yeah, exactly, man. That's what I'm trying to point out right here, is that you just got to let shit go sometimes. Pay attention to the fights. Say a couple things once in a while, but don't let it get too personal. Because you never know who's commenting on the other side. It could be just some little kid in their parents' basement. Nothing better to do. So, yeah, no point in arguing with people. So, a couple things, and this is going to be kind of random on how I go through this, but I'm just going to be talking different stuff I wrote down. I get ideas, I write them down. So fighters, staff, come on. Like, if you're one of my staff members, show up on time, please. I get that, you guys are volunteers, but if you're helping out, like, it really makes it hard when we can't get things going because we don't have people there, especially fighters. If you're a fighter, show up time is whatever time I have it listed at. So show up on time so I can get you matched up. We can't start the fights until we have people matched up. Please, fighters, don't be like just showing up whenever you want. Matches. Your match isn't official till you get there. Just always remember that. And always remember you don't have to take a fight either. So if you show up, we match you up, and you don't like the fight, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just going to be like, I might ask you, like, well, why? Like, can we talk about the match? Maybe we could talk to the opponent and see how much experience they have, whatever. But I'm never going to make anybody take a fight. I never have. I don't pressure people into taking fights. But if you signed up or said you were going to fight a particular fight, then I probably expect you to do that fight if you show up to the event. Just saying, like that's probably a given. But I just, like I said, I expect it. I don't demand it. Because we had a fighter that got sick yesterday or the day before. He was able to show up to the event, but he didn't feel like he was in fighting condition, which I told him that's fine. Hey, thanks for stopping in and helping out. He is part of our group that does help out regularly, and he helped out all day. But I mean, you can't expect a guy to get in there when he's been sick for the last couple of days, puking and all that stuff to get in there and take a fight. I mean, and he gave me warning ahead of time. Mr. Top Knocker, shout out to you, man. Hey, thank you for everything you do. Your matchmaking, running around, getting stuff going. Really appreciate you, brother. There's no purse out here. We do this just for the fighters' personal growth and exposure. So whatever reasons the fighters have that they want to fight, we try to help them out with that, as far as moving up on an amateur level or just getting exposure or what have you. We always try to accommodate the fighters. Sorry, I'm not putting your guys' comments up. I'm just trying to read through stuff. Yes, I don't want to spoil anything, but I will say this, guys. I just put a fight out. I just put the Jimmy Fit fight out, one of his fights. It's live. It's doing pretty good. It's gonna do pretty good because it's a Jimmy Fit fight. But no spoilers. He did take 2 fights yesterday. His opponent took 2 fights yesterday too. We did have a lot of new people, which I'm really happy to see. I'm hoping that people continue to come out through the colder months. We do offer heat, stand-up heaters, and cover for the fighters, and we've got food and all that stuff. That E-Money fight. Ooh, yes. Both those guys. Damn, Buddy V fight. I'm telling you guys, we had like 23, 24 fights, and they were all good in their own sense. Even some that were a little bit slower had like some significance to them. You'll see what I'm talking about when they get posted. But yeah. Shout out to everybody out of state that came out. Golden Hands has not been sitting on a couch while he wasn't in Street Beefs. I'm just gonna say that. Golden Hands made his return, and that was cool. And he fought a very, very tough Pinche Jr. Shout out Pinche Jr. Shout him out because he came out, his family came out, and they helped us out big time on this event. And I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate that. So thank you, Pinche. Let them know I appreciate it. It was great, and I appreciate the tacos too, man. Those were like, they're like probably the best tacos I've ever had. So thank you. VIP super or future champion, that is definitely a possibility. I am all for giving people title shots when they earn them. So keep that in mind. Let's see. We did have some 5-round fights, guys. The title fights were scheduled for five rounds, 2-minute rounds. And I usually know he's just been training. And JB, I expect to see you back next month? I think next month. You got to get in there, man. You can't hold on to that title forever and not get back in there. But I also want to shout out to Viking Warrior on his win down in Street Beast West Coast. So shout out Viking Warrior. I heard all about that. I can't wait to see the fight. Monkey, shout out to you for coming out from Bryant, Arkansas. Arkansas. So thank you for coming out. Great job on your match. Shout out to all the fighters that got in there. You guys are warriors. My volunteers, I gotta say thanks to all my volunteers, everybody. And I truly apologize if I missed somebody here because I just wrote down some stuff while I was thinking about it. And this is what's up, Dan? How does No Show Chris fight when he can? I don't know who No Show Chris is. Who's No Show Chris? Q-Tip is I gotta say Q-Tip is really developing as a fighter. Tommy, this is a good question, and we get this a lot with people with Street Beefs, and this goes with all branches of Street Beefs. There is no pay involved in the fight, in the paying the fighters, no admission fees, nothing like that. We're keeping this on the legal, and so nobody gets paid, and nobody has to pay to get in. And I know people are like, well, that's not fair. Fighters should get paid. But if you know amateur fighting, okay, so I fought amateur fighting from like 2009 to 2012. I was an amateur MMA fighter. And we didn't get paid. The promoter got paid, and we never questioned anything like, "Hey, why is the promoter getting paid?" or anything like that. It's just expected because it's amateur fighting. Our fights aren't even they're amateur exhibition matches, so they're not even technically they're not sanctioned fights. They're the equivalent of like a smoker show. So we try to hook the fighters up with opportunities. I try to find them sponsors. I try to help them out getting into gyms and stuff and getting them fighting amateur. And if they're wanting to go pro, I try to find them a path in that direction. I'm all about helping all these guys out. You go to an amateur show, I'll tell you what, you go to an amateur show, and this ain't nothing personal against the amateur promoters, but they don't really care about the fighters for the most part. That's not true with every single amateur promotion, but a lot of ones that I've been to, it's not about the fighters. It just isn't. Um, so we're like a family out here. Whether you're coming out and it's your first time, you're coming from a different branch, or you're part of all of our group, that's been here a while. I treat you guys the same. I really try to treat you guys the same. Um, I don't show favoritism. Um, you guys might look at decisions and like, oh man, they're showing favoritism. No, maybe the people that looked at that fight thought one thing, but I don't have any say in that. I let them know ahead of time that this is how we're going to do it. And that's why, like Jay Gotham said, we hand out checks at the scrapyard, reality checks, because we're going to put you up with somebody that's going to be a good opponent for you. We're not going to give people easy wins up here. We're not going to give people super super difficult wins unless they want to challenge themselves. We try to match up fair. That's why I developed, and I guess other branches are using it now, but I developed the 5-point system on scoring, not scoring, but gauging a fighter's ability. Okay. So when I'm matching people up, I'll walk up to them and say, okay, you put yourself down as a level 2. Like, what kind of experience do you got? Oh man, I'm just self-trained. I don't have any real like fights or anything, no gym training. I'll be like, okay, man, I'm going to change you to a level 1 because you don't have any of that. Or a guy might come out and say, yeah, I've done a few amateur fights. He might sign up as a 1. He might, yeah, I had a couple of amateur fights, about a year ago, and I stay in good shape. I'd be like, dude, honestly, like, if you've had amateur fights and professional training, you're probably more like a 3. Um, and we can match up a point difference. So if it with a 2 against a 3 is no big deal, but we try to do the best that we can. Yes, we've had a women fight in street beefs, different branches for sure, but in ours we've had Ravens. I forgot what her name was, versus the Devastator. And that was last month. We're always looking for female fighters. It's just hard to get skill, female type of fighting style, and weight, all those to match up. Because it's like when we were in the beginning of the scrapyard, we had a difficult time matching people up because of that. Sometimes people come out and don't get fights. We had people come out last event, didn't get fights because they're an odd weight, or they were only willing to fight a certain type of fight. And like I said, I don't push people. So if you're MMA and kickboxing and your opponent wants to box, I can't put you guys up against each other because somebody's given up something they don't want to do. And so, I mean, if you guys agree on it, that's cool. If you're like, hey, let's just box, okay, fine. That's fine. But again, I'm not pushing people. This is for people to get experience and some exposure. Like I said, the return of Golden Hands. He was our first champion in the scrapyard. He is he was the first champion, and he was the first 155-pound boxing champion. Who are all the street beefs champions? That's so Tommy, I can't go over that right now. I can tell you the fighters that didn't fight this weekend because I don't want to give away anything. But Scotty Showtime That's kind of a rough one. I might be vacating his belt. He's I got to find out about that because he signed up to fight like 3 times and not shown up. So, but he's the 170-pound MMA champ. Viking is our 185-pound boxing champion, undisputed, undefeated. Just picked up another win down in Cali or Vegas. JB is our 205 boxing champion. Jabberwocky's our 170 kickboxing champion. I can't talk about that one. Jay Gotham is technically our 205 champ, but that'll get vacated soon if he doesn't come out and fight. Brickhouse is our heavyweight kickboxing champion. Terrifier is technically our MMA champion, but I haven't heard from him. So if that doesn't get resolved, then that one will go up. We don't have a boxing. We don't have a heavyweight boxing champion. I'm probably missing somebody there, guys, and I apologize to any of the KUC. I'm not going to talk about the fight. So watch the live feed. That's all I'll say. Hey, Supernova, what's up? Supernova, I gotta shout you out, man. You fought the comedian, and you guys have trained before with each other. And I can't believe how much weight you lost for that fight. Like, I did not recognize you at first. You were on a workout kick, and man, what do you think? What do you think of maybe eventually taking on JB for that 205 title? Let me know. You don't got to answer on here. Thanks to my volunteers, Simo, Top Knocker, Karate Gandalf, our nurse, Mad Dog, Jeremy, Flex, all our crowd representatives, everybody that helped out in any way, our door operator, everybody. Thank you guys so much. You guys bring out stuff for the fights. You help out. War Hippie, man. So listen, you guys are gonna want to pay attention to this name, right? Illuminate the State. What's up? You guys are gonna want to pay attention to this name right here. War Hippie. War Hippie fought a dude named ACDC in a Muay Thai match, and not putting anybody else down, but this might be the best Muay Thai match we have ever had in the scrapyard. You guys threw down, and it was epic. Like, I was giggling, like holding the camera because it was just so good. The counters, the shots. I mean, that was a professional match. It was a professional level match. So, and War Hippie, your team, you guys were awesome. You guys helped out. You guys cornered other fighters. I can't wait for you guys to come back. I hope you become like a good permanent part of the scrapyard, whether you guys are fighting or not, just being part of it and being part of the atmosphere out there. I really enjoyed having you guys out. So thank you so much. Your fight, I don't know when it'll be out, but I'm going to have fun editing that one. I love editing the fights. It's time consuming. I mean, let's look at it this way, guys. We got 23 fights, and they take 2 hours each to edit, roughly. You do the math on that. So it's time consuming, but I love it. Just like I love talking to you guys. Yes, the energy out there. I think that's what draws a lot of people into the scrapyard. Look, there's people looking in from the outside. Yeah, Steve-O, I do. I do. Anyway, there's people from the outside looking into the scrapyard, and they don't know what to think about it. They're hesitant to support it because it's a backyard fight group. I literally had people at the event tell me, yo, this is better than a lot of amateur promotions I've been to. More organized, more put together. The cage is better. And even some professionals, like that made me just feel really good. because we take efforts to make sure the fighters are safe. We take efforts to make sure we cover certain things, laws, safety, and like within the cage, rules, referees, all that stuff. I truly believe that fighter safety is number one. So again, whenever you decide to edit my video, you should put my first intro up, then my recent one to show the difference. Street beefs changed my life. That's a good idea. Supernova, I might do that. Or what I might do is I might splice it in so that you can kind of see both at the same time. I'll have it like your intros going on, but maybe in like a smaller window. I have your old one without the audio. We could do something like that. So I'll figure it out. Fight Team 206, welcome to the chat. Always nice to see you guys here. Illuminate the State. What's up? Catching a little of this on my break. Thank you for the $5 super chat. That is very much appreciated. Travelers, this goes out to the travelers. What if people are kind of hesitant about coming out, maybe from different branches or from out of state because they're not sure about it yet? Look, my promise to you is I'm going to do my best to match you up with an equally skilled opponent, and we're going to give you the most fair match we can give you. When I say there's no bias, I mean from the way I handle things, I do not allow bias in any way. I feel like whether you are with our group or a different group, that you deserve a fair match, whether you win or not. Look, most of the decisions and stuff that people don't agree with, I gotta say, like they're probably pretty close. There are some that I can go back and look at, and I'm like, I don't know what happened there. I don't know what my guys were thinking, but it was never meant to be like it was never meant to be like a certain way. It was just, I'm trying to convey what I mean here, but it was never intended from my perspective or from my team that it was ever bias or intentionally like preset, like that's how the match is going to be set up, but anyway, traveling fighters, I'll give you guys a fair match. And I can honestly say, like I mentioned earlier, that you guys that come out, you seem to have really good times, and I want you guys to come back. If you come out and have a bad experience, why would you ever want to come back? All it takes to be part of the scrapyard, you got to be able to get like along with people. You can't have an ego. I just hate that when people come out here with an ego and they're confrontational and they think they have to act a certain way around people. Nah, we're all cool. This is the oasis, the watering hole that everybody comes to, that all the lions and tigers and everything comes to drink out of. We all get along. That's my expectations. That's why I push respect in our group. Internal conflict, that's not good for anybody. People might think it's good for views, but I mean, like, honestly, with internal conflict, like, how much are you guys like really paying attention to internal conflict? You're not. You're seeing what we post on YouTube. So like pre-fight hype and intentionally like causing arguments and doing that to hype the fight, that might work in like a professional setting where the world is watching a couple fighters' behavior outside the ring. But in the scrapyard and street beefs, the people are going on YouTube and watching what we put out. They're not necessarily in the Facebook group or watching our podcasts or any of that. So they just think like this is the fight. The pre-hype doesn't. I feel like the pre-hype can only reach so many people. Even promos, like I've noticed that promos don't really do the most for us. Not saying I don't like them. Fighters love them and everything, but I would UC. UC has a question about Italian Tyson. Would you let him fight in the scrapyard? If Italian Tyson is cool with street beefs, Italian Tyson is cool with us. That goes with anybody. Look, I get that there's probably people in street beefs that for whatever reason don't like me. And I've come to just be okay with that. But like I said, I am not going to treat anybody any different when they come out here. They're going to be treated like they're one of us. What would I like more than anything is that somebody that had a problem with me to come out, have a good time, and realize, you know what? Like, maybe we kind of just got off on the wrong foot online, and everything's cool. You know, I I really like to get along with people, but to answer your question though, yes, I would let him come out if he's cool with street beefs. I'd let anybody come out if they're cool with street beefs and give them a fair fight. And even if it's a traveling opponent, they can hit me up ahead of time and say, "Hey, I want to fight this person." I'll evaluate. This is through DM. I'll evaluate and decide whether that's a good fit or not. I'll talk to their opponent or potential opponent. I'll see if they agree, and we can set the matchup. So right then and there, you set your matchup through me with your opponent, and we make it work. So Conor McGregor should come out and fight. That would not be good for Conor McGregor, I don't think, because Conor is he's high level, man. He's UFC. His contract would not allow him to do that, first off. But somebody like that, if they wanted to come out and announce or referee or help, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Look, I don't know if he watches my lives. I think he watches our fights, and he's responded to me a couple times on YouTube. If he wanted to come out and help out and do some stuff and be part of it, I would love that. Jens Pulver, that's another one that I've talked to before, and I'd like to have come out. So if anybody's got connections to talk to some of these people, Daniel Bryan, that's another one. I wrestled him in a backyard in high school. It'd be cool to get a hold of him again. I think Golden Hands is going to be more active. In fact, he wants Earthling 7. So, Somke, could you relay that message to Earthling 7? Yeah, so I lost my train of thought. It's okay. Our next event, fight order. Look, guys, when you come out to fight at the scrapyard, if you got something you got to do, you got somewhere to be, you need to tell somebody. You got to get your match lined up early. There's just going to be people that are going to fight late. That's how it's going to be. That's just how it's going to be. But if you know that you're not going to be able to sit there the whole event, don't have me set your matchup and then just, hey, I got to go. Like, damn, dude, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, your guy's over there waiting to fight, and you were that far on the list. That's just something that fighters can take into consideration when they're at the fights. Steve-O, do you think that you could get a hold of him, or in a roundabout way have somebody get a hold of him? Colin, the answer to that is no. The answer to that is It's always been the same. It's just we change how we say things. The same goes with the referee and declaring all that, you know. It's always been the same. We just change the way we say things. The quickest fight I've ever witnessed was 3.72 seconds. That was a knockout by in the first round by Arm and Hammer. But Steve-O, yeah, if you could, maybe let them know what we're all about, how we're a community and we're trying to uplift fighters and we're trying to build a strong community of people that are there. Not only that, but people, you know what? These guys at the scrapyard and in street beefs, you know, we're all there for each other. If somebody's going through some shit, it's nice to be able to have some people that are part of your community that you can kind of be like, hey guys, I'm having a really hard time. Um, Anybody want to meet up and just hang out or spar a little bit? You know, I've seen it countless times. People there for each other. That's what it's all about. We're there for each other. We're uplifting each other. We're not tearing each other down. Street beef, Scarface always set the tempo on that one about not saying anything negative about people's sparring videos and training videos and all that stuff when they post in street beefs, because you say some stuff and you put somebody down, man, you might crush them. They might never get into it, but you say, hey, uh, give, you know, if they're asking for advice, you be really respectful and you give them good advice, you know, but you don't want to tear people down. You want to build them up. So that's something that I really learned from Scarface. Some people are really critical about the way people's technique looks. If it's not spot on like a professional, they're getting torn apart. I mean, Kig Madness, what is up? Um, they'll get torn up in the YouTube comments, and that's really hard to monitor and control. But on the Facebook group where Street Beefs has like 40,000 members, and we've got a bunch in our group, you know, like we want people to build their confidence up and then make it out and meet everybody and become part of our family. And I see it when people come out. I see people come out that are hesitant at first, like they'll have their match and maybe they lost, maybe they won, but they're not really sure about us. And then I see the people take to them and say, "Hey, you had a phenomenal match, you know, whatever, just even if they lost, they're helping build up these people." These gyms and stuff locally, they're starting to kind of catch wind of how we are with each other, and that we're trying to be positive and look out for each other and uplift each other, and that it can have a positive influence on what these guys decide to do with their talent. Um, oh hell yeah, Papa, do that, please. These guys, there's a lot of guys coming out there displaying a lot of talent, and you know what? I would love it if these guys were interested in moving up to amateur and eventually professional, that I could help them get to where they want to be. So get a hold of our team if you're a fighter that's fighting out here that wants to look into potential sponsorship for pursuing a professional career. Who is the Viking Warrior is an undefeated champion. Jabberwocky's undefeated. I think he's only got 2 fights though. Viking's got like 12. Turco's an undefeated champion. I forgot to mention him earlier. 170-pound boxing champion, undefeated. Hey, you're not going to trick me into saying anything else about some of the other fighters that fought Saturday. Just watch their fights. That's all I'm going to say. Terrifier was undefeated. He had that controversial loss. And to clarify that with Terrifier's last fight, yes, he's still undefeated. To clarify Terrifier's last fight, just I don't necessarily agree with the decision that happened, you know, but it's not my place to decide whether or not that's a go or no go. All I can do is send fights out to a review board afterwards. That's all that I can do. So just remember, people see things differently. Too Explosive vacated because he moved. So Buddy V and Fenrir fought for his title. Oh, thank you, Steve-O. It does, like it does take balls to step in there and lose a fight, but we're doing this to build up experience, to make ourselves better. You know what's crazy is I've seen people come out here that have like a really weird, unique style. I'm going to take Lights Out, for instance. Okay. He comes out, he's got this crazy windmill style of boxing that is just like, you watch it and you're like, oh man, I could beat that. But then he just gets better and better and better through experience. Now he's making this style of boxing that he's been using work. He's like closing up the holes in the game and making it better. Even though it's unorthodox, he's still making it work. I mean, let's be honest, like let's look at some of the old boxing styles. Let's look at like the Philly shell. I bet you the first time somebody seen somebody do the Philly shell, they were like, that's not orthodox. That's an unorthodox fighting type. I don't mean foot stance. I mean, that is not like a typical way that people hold their hands. And you know what? There was probably holes in the Philly shell when they first started it. And then the fighter gets better at covering up the holes in the game and making it work for them. And that can be said for anybody, almost any fighting style out there. You can make almost anything work if you spend enough time doing it and it's not completely crazy. Well, even then, like some people can make stuff work, but I feel like getting out here and getting some experience using these weird styles, you might not get that in a boxing gym. They might try to form you into the style that they want you to fight in, but you're kind of used to being engaging and doing things in a different way. So maybe it's better for you to try out this weird style and get better at it. You never know. Look at a lot of UFC fighters. If the cookie cutter MMA fighter was all the same, then you wouldn't have any Wonder Boy Thompsons or John Jones or any of these guys that don't quite fit the mold as far as their style goes. They've got something different. The Lights Out's really tough to beat. I saw Lights Out beat a guy that weighed over 200 pounds in the scrapyard. He called him out. Lights Out called him out. It was Lights Out was 145 pounds, and he called out kickstand at about 200 pounds, maybe a little bit more, and they fought, and Lights Out won. Like what? It's just Lights Out fought an MMA fighter that was 170. I can't remember if that was a win or a draw, but that guy was that guy was built. Amateur MMA fighter, yeah. So I say what you want about the kid, but I give him props all day long because he keeps going in there, he keeps doing good, and he deserves every bit of what he's earned, whether you guys like his crazy style or not. September 24th is the next event. I have it posted in Street Beef Scrapyard Facebook group on the pinned post. If you want to fight, I'll post that. It's going to be a pinned post. If you want to sign up to fight. Follow the directions. Remember, No kids at the event. No kids and no inviting extra people. You guys are allowed a +1. Okay. I'm not trying to overcrowd the scrapyard with people that are just there to watch. We have YouTube for that. We have a live feed for that. And it's not that I don't appreciate you guys coming out to fight. It's just that I can't facilitate massive amounts of people just to come watch a fight. We had 23 fights. Sign up now. No kids. It's a +1. Event staff. Hey guys, I really, again, I can't say it enough. I appreciate all you guys. But I got to make sure I have certain people ready to go on certain jobs. I basically, I think I'm going to just put a sign up sheet in the events section now for various jobs. And I'm going to have people fill those jobs. And if you're a helper and you don't put your name down on one of those jobs, then you got to skip a month, because I got to have certain people doing certain jobs, and they have to be dependable. They got to be there on time. It's important. And don't get me wrong, I get it. Stuff happens, life happens. If you can't make it, I'm not holding it against you. Really, I'm not. Sometimes I might feel frustrated because it's like the day before, but it's not that I don't appreciate what you do. It's just that it's just leaving me in a tough spot because I have to find somebody to fill in that spot, or possibly fill it in myself. King Madness says 15-0 later. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Exactly, man. Exactly. YouTube is, it's a step of, it's bad. It's bad, guys. You got so much of a mix of people hiding behind keyboards and stuff. So they'll say whatever they want, but um, take the comments that are positive and let those ones go to heart. Ignore the other ones. I know sometimes it feels good to just respond to them and say what you want to say to them, but you're just giving these people what they want. So, yeah, you know what? Just let it roll off your back. That's you with the belt in the picture, man. Ain't none of these haters holding a belt like that. Um, yeah, Steve-O, I can do that. I do have a Teespring now. If you guys are interested, I'll send you guys the link to the Teespring if you're interested. Let me find it really quick. So these are going to be exclusive shirts and stuff. I do got to edit a couple things, but you can basically go on there right now and I'm trying to see. Oh, view store. There we go. Okay, I'll post the link up right now and you can check it out. Oh wow, I think I accidentally overpriced a shirt, guys. It's a long sleeve shirt. I did not mean to do that. I'll look into it, but I don't see why a shirt would be $39. So here's the Teespring, guys. And I honestly, guys, I tried to price these as low as I could. I'm not making much of anything off of them. It's more just to help people that are watching the fights get merch, have something to, um, and if there's anybody out there that wants to submit designs for any of our fighters or our logo or anything, get at me. Um, I'm always looking for new designs and everything for that. But I'm actually going to go in there right now. That really bugs me that shirt is. I had somebody ask me about that. They're like, "Why is this shirt this much?" I was like, "I have no idea. I am brand new to Teespring, so I can just go to edit store or whatever, listing, stores, go up to your store editor. Let me see if that um let me see if if I can even edit it here. Yeah, I'm not like in the editor. Anyway, I don't want to get too much into this, but yeah, if there's any ideas you guys want on the Teespring stuff that for designs or whatever, I'll help you out. Also, HKA USA is our new gear sponsor. They do custom gloves, custom fight gear, and from what I understand is they can basically make it any way you want. So, leather gloves, whatever, good quality, whatever picture you want on them, whatever logo you want on them. You know, hit them up. HKA USA. So, like I said, I tried to make like the basic T-shirt. I was wearing it in the fights yesterday, the red one. I think that I paid like 18 bucks for that shirt. The guy in the cage that's films from the inside. Does he ever get hit accidentally? That's me, guys. I've never been hit, but I have been crushed. So I stay out of the way, but like if sometimes I'll get over and I'll get in a corner and the fighters just make their way that way and I kind of just like sit there and get smashed until they decide to migrate out of that corner. So Tank, what is up? Yo, yo, yo. Street Beast West Coast in the house. We got the OG branch in the house. We got Q-Tip in the house. Madness in the house. Just going over the fights, man. I'm not giving away anything on any of the fights. Q-Tip, but Q-Tip did fight a 5-round fight yesterday. So he went to war. That one was definitely for the title. You're just gonna have to wait till that one comes out. Tank, how many fights did you guys have Saturday? Had to switch over to the main. Oh, gotcha. Oh, you do have 2 YouTube channels. Yeah, we ended up with 23 and it took like 6 hours. We were super like kind of like not as running as efficient as we could have. We got started late. Um it is what it is. We're going to have to tighten it up a little bit though because it's going to start to get uh darker earlier. We are more north of you guys than so we do get affected more by the changing of the seasons in more ways than one. Um, the most brutal fight I think we've ever had, probably Scotty Showtime versus Dre. Those guys were friends too. Yeah, check out Scarface's Street Stories. That's going to give you a lot about his personal life. Also, check out Ben Shelley solo on YouTube. He's doing his own like stories and that kind of stuff in here. The best season to fight in the scrapyard, I'd say summer. To be honest, it rains so much up here and everything, but we do like we have heat, we have cover and stuff. Like I try to make it as accommodating as possible. Since you're over in Virginia, you're probably more used to the crummy weather than like the West Coast guys are. They come up here and they don't like it as much because they're used to hot weather. But Virginia, yeah, it gets hot over there, but it gets hot over here too. In the last few months, it's been in the 90s. Um, but I know it rains over in Virginia a lot in the wintertime and stuff, but it does that here. So if you're gonna fight over there, I mean, I think it's kind of a toss up, like whether you're here or there. Do we do background checks before people fight? No, we don't do background checks. Um, However, if it comes to my attention that somebody has a so I'm not going to tell somebody they can't come out because of past crimes as far as if like felonies or whatever. There are a lot of people that come out that are trying to get their life in order and I would like to help them out. I would like them to have a place that they can blow off steam and get to know some people and get around a good crowd of people. And I can honestly tell you that has worked. We do have people out here that have had a tough past, but they met us and they look at us as like family now. However, if I find out from word of mouth and some research that somebody has a past that involves something to do with children or along that nature, no, they are not allowed to come to the scrapyard. That's something we take very serious out here. It's come to my attention before, and I've stopped that before it happens. But yeah, definitely none of those 5'6" tattooed wannabe YouTube stars are allowed out here. You know who I'm talking about. Hey, any word on my okay? Q-Tip, your original opponent, which was Goal Setter, ended up with an intestinal infection and had to go to the hospital. He's on medication and getting better. Sent me pictures from inside his hospital bed and everything. That was weird, man. He came out. He was super excited to fight. Well, I mean, he was excited to fight. He came out, got pictures with me and everything. But I noticed when he was getting ready to leave, he said, "Hey, do you know where there's a Rite Aid?" So I think that maybe like he wasn't quite feeling 100% that night. And then the next day, that's when he's like, I'm in the hospital, man. And then he sent me pictures and stuff. And it is wild. He must have got it before he got on the plane and everything. Yeah, Steve-O, I've seen different fight clubs. I don't really I don't push other fight clubs. I don't Scarface has a similar feeling about other fight clubs as I do. Sometimes you don't know the motive behind what they're trying to accomplish with their fight club. You don't know if they're checking out laws locally. You I know it's not legal in Indiana, by the way. Um, they're not looking into local laws. They're not looking into the safety of their fighters. I've seen some of those places have like cages that have the little spike things at the top of them. I mean, it might seem like a stretch, but I mean, if somebody goes to throw their opponent and their Achilles tendon gets caught on that, on a spike on top of their cage or whatever, dude, that could really mess a person up. I go through my cage and I make sure that there's nothing exposed. We tape things up. We just make it as safe as possible inside there. So that's another thing. Like safety is the highest priority out here. So I won't say I don't associate with these other fight clubs. I do hope that if they're dead set on doing these, that they're at least taking the proper precautions in running these things. So guys, I think that's about all I got for today. Wow, hey, I'm actually pretty good. So my Kicking It with Chickens are typically like an hour long. And that is what we're at right now, roughly. So I feel like we've had some good back and forth on here. I'm gonna try to give you guys a Kicking It with Chicken every week. These, by the way, guys, King Madness, I would like to have you on as a guest at some point. Q-Tip, same goes with you. Somk's been on before. Tiny Tank, man, you're welcome. Just because I don't offer it to you guys like every time I do these, you guys are representatives. You guys are fighters. I would love to have you guys on the show. It helps with keeping the flow of the show going. Hit you up. Hell yeah, I'm gonna make sure and do that. And King Madness, I think we might be going out in November. I think the scrapyard might be headed out there. I don't want to put a stamp of approval on it yet because I'm not 100%, but that's going to be the plan. I want to go out to the OG branch again. I had such a good time at the OG branch last year we went. Man, that's Steve-O, that sucks. Damn. So look, I'm gonna say this before I get off here, Steve-O. I have a gym now. I started a gym called Mutual Combat Martial Arts in Bremerton, Washington. Mutual Combat with a K, not with a C. I don't know who that is. We are not going to allow any instructors or anything like that with questionable backgrounds. So they will, any instructors out at my place are going to get background checked and all that. But that's unfortunate because, you know, people are trusting an instructor with their kids and everything. And it's really sad. So good thing they got the guy though. I hope he gets hit hard and they make an example out of him. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for being part of the chat. Check out the Jimmy Fit fight that we just posted. He does have another fight coming up or coming out. Let's see. Ooh. Canelo versus Triple G. I'm gonna go with Canelo. I'm gonna go with Canelo on that one. I don't watch a lot of boxing, but that's just who I got, man. I don't watch a lot of combat sports anymore, actually. People would think that I'm like heavily involved with watching. Oh, boom. I got something for you guys. January event. Look, my birthday's in January. I'm going to be an old man. I'm going into the Masters division in January. I will be Masters division then, if you can believe it or not. Take care of yourself, people. Take care of yourself. I might be doing something after the fights. So if you're coming out, I'm going to talk more about this later. If you're thinking about coming out in January, you won't have to get a hotel room for that night for January 22nd. And I hope you like trampoline parks that get rented overnight that can play whatever music we want and play Xbox and stuff and eat a shit ton of pizza and have a good time. That's something I'm planning. So I'm going to find out how many people, but I would love to. Gash, please come out in January. If you want to know why, I just said it. If you weren't on here, but trampoline park, January, overnight, Fire Chicken's birthday celebration. So I would like to have people come out from the different branches and all that, and it'll be like an overnight thing, but it's gonna be fun as hell. I'll tell you what. There's even like a spot where you can wrestle, and I'm gonna see if they'll let us get like some oversized boxing gloves and maybe some jousting sticks, and it's probably gonna be from like 11 to 8 a.m. 11 p.m. to 8 a.m. I don't know the exact time, but bring a pillow and find a spot in the crash pit, you know, with all the foam blocks. Actually, those are kind of nasty. They can't really wash those. Okay, so don't sleep on that. But it's not too far from the scrapyard. Maybe we'll all carpool. But I want to do something special for this one. I was thinking about going to Vegas for that one, but Vegas is kind of generic. I can do that anytime. This is more fun. And I go to trampoline parks and have fun with those things all the time. So hopefully I don't blow out my knees on my 40th. That would suck. So thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you guys later. Until the next one, pay attention. All the fights are coming out. You're not going to want to miss it. I think you're going to get a knockout fight tomorrow. So peace out, everybody.